Hey, goodness to you. It's Sporty King. And I always say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening. Isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? Hey, and look, I know most people are watching the video, so that's why I also like to mention that goodness gives you a chance to be happy every moment of the day. However, meanwhile, I've got less than 2 minutes for today's broadcast. If you want to be on live, well, if you're on live, you didn't miss it. Okay, just want to let you know I'll start the message in about a minute and a half. So you still got time to close out a file, go get a sip of water, and again, since I don't know what time of day it is, go get a drink. Go get a glass of wine. All right. But anyway, just keep the goodness going and know that all is well. We've got less than a minute to go for today's message. And that's what it's all about. So I also like to come on a little early on Glue Wednesday, get a chance to give some shout outs. Let me know where you're viewing in from, even if you're watching the video. I broadcast across three mediums: Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube simultaneously using the technology through StreamYard. So if that's something you have not tried, I recommend it. StreamYard has different payment plans. I'm not doing an ad for them, but just giving you an FYI. So different payment plan depending on how many mediums you want to broadcast across. So it's a different price for one versus the three that I'm doing. I don't even remember whether or not the one was free. But anyway, it's not that expensive. So, give it a shot and have some tips. So we got less than 10 seconds pretty much before today's message comes across. So get ready to get glued in. And again, to just welcome it in and say, and here we go. So, hey, goodness to you. Again, welcome. I say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening, but isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? Okay, I created Glue Wednesday because so often we hear people say that Wednesday is hump day. Let me give you a little history. You see, hump day is actually an idiom that means Wednesday, a day of the work. The term hump day first appeared in the 1960s in North America, most probably in business offices. Hump day is based on the idea that the work week is a mountain that one must climb. The general office work week was and is still Monday through Friday, consisting of 5 days. And this put Wednesday in the middle or at the peak or hump of the work week. Well, Monday and Tuesday are the climbing days of the week and are therefore psychologically difficult to get through. Wednesday is the highest part of this climb up a proverbial mountain. The thinking goes that if one can make it to hump day, then Thursday and Friday are an easy slide into the weekend. And I got that by Googling it at grammarist.com. So, always Google and find some little extra information out. It's a fun thing to do. But in other words, you have to work to get over hump day. You have to work to get over. So I've chosen to state that you don't have to work and you don't have to hump. You have to work to keep it together. You see, Wednesday is the middle of a 7-day week, no matter when you work. It's the day that keeps the beginning and the end together. Therefore, it's the glue. And that's why I created it. It puts me in one of my favorite poses, the prayerful pose. And that's why I created it, glue, Glue. God's love undoes everything. Not that God's love will tear things apart, but that which has been torn apart, God's love will undo that tear and help you keep it together. And that becomes the key. So every week on my Glue Wednesday broadcast, I have what I call a guiding scripture. My guiding scripture today is from Daniel 3:17 through 18. The scripture says, if we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold that you have set up. And that helps me deliver my message today, which is you can weather the storm. Let's first go back and set the scene. Many people, many of you know of Daniel and the lion's den, or of his ability to interpret dreams. Now, the lion's den doesn't happen until chapter 6. This is in chapter 3 that we're talking. Some even know that in chapter 1, when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon came to Jerusalem and besieged it with his armies, he took sacred objects from the temple of God back to Babylon. He also took captives and decided to turn them into servants in his royal palace. Daniel and his boys were then given Babylonian names. Daniel was named Belteshazzar, Hananiah was named Shadrach, Mishael was named Meshach, and Azariah was named Abednego. So, and they had, okay, oops, my bad. Okay. So fast forward to chapter 3, where it's actually just about Daniel's boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They had refused to bow to the gold statue built by Nebuchadnezzar and were therefore sentenced to be thrown into the burning furnace. Because they were in good standing with the king, he offered them one more chance and a challenge. He asked them in Daniel 3:15, what God will be able to rescue you from my power then when I throw you in the furnace? Now, let's come back to our guiding scripture and allow me to update and adjust my message from you can weather the storm, to you can weather the storm. As the words of Daniel's boys remind us that we have a choice of how we let the storm affect our faith. But even if he does not, see, we have a choice of how we let the storm affect our faith. And notice the subtle choice to use a capital G in God versus the small g that Nebuchadnezzar used when he talked about what God can rescue you from me then. And you see, weather is a conjunction. It expresses a doubt or choice between alternatives. In a sentence, he seemed undecided whether to go or stay. It's also an indication that a statement applies whichever of the alternatives mentioned is the case. In a sentence, I'm going whether or not you like it. Looks like they had conjunctions in Babylon. But even if he does not. I posted a meme yesterday stating, God is intentional. So when you feel like he's doing something, he's doing something. When you feel like he's doing nothing, he's doing something. And I wrote this commentary with it. Don't wait until Sunday to thank and give God the glory. He didn't wait for you to be born to bless you. So when you think God is doing nothing, he's doing something because God is very intentional. And years ago, I learned from an Air Force chaplain that the real moral behind the story of the three little pigs is not what type of house you build. It's about the fact that the storm is coming. And I added that there's another storm behind that one. You know that already because you've handled your share of storms in this life. Choose to handle the next one. And you can do that by remembering to pray in faith, not fear, for continued calm in your storm because they're coming, whether you like it or not. And you can continue to trust in God for his goodness, glory, grace, and especially his glue. Just remember that God's love undoes everything. And you don't have to choose to hump to get over when all you need to do is keep finding ways to keep it together. We do that every week here on Glue Wednesday. I'm Sporty King, and I thank you for watching, engaging, and sharing. Now, get out and choose how to act in the storm. Whether or not you like it, you can make it. Over and out. Peace.